Hi everyone, and welcome, a very warm welcome to you all. We're hoping you're all keeping very well. So all being well, we'll be starting our classes this Sunday, so we look forward to our face-to-face classes. In the meantime, we look forward to sharing this class with you, which is called the Bee's Knees. We're going to be exploring a series of movements that help us to keep healthy knees, or if your knees are in pain, hopefully to minimize or even perhaps remove the pain. So for this class, you'll need a chair, preferably a hard top chair without a back, but if it has a back, that's okay. Ideally with no arms. I've placed a towel on top of my chair because it's a little bit uncomfortable to sit on without the towel. So if you bring yourself to your seated pose upon your chair, if you find that your feet are not touching the floor, then you may wish to place a prop beneath your feet. In a moment, if it's comfortable for you, I'll ask you, because mine don't quite touch the floor, my heels are slightly off. In a moment, I'll ask you to come forward a little bit if that's comfortable for you. But for the settling exercise, just feel your spine is upright, your palms are resting upon your knees or your thighs, shoulders are relaxed away from the ears, chin is tucked down and slightly back, a little gap between the teeth, and you begin to make your connection to the breath, feeling the cool air entering and the warm air leaving your body, the cool air entering and the warm air leaving your body. As you make the connection to the breath, feel yourself beginning to arrive into your physical form, arriving into the present moment, the here and now. And to honor ourselves, our practice, and all of our teachers, we'll chant the mantra Om 3 times now, breathing in deeply. And when you next breathe out, feel the connection your body, your seat makes to the earth. Feel yourself grounding and rooting into the depths of the earth. Feel that reciprocal relationship. And then very gently bringing our awareness back into the space. So we're here to explore the knees, and the movements don't actually focus on the knees. So if we have a look at the location of the knees, so the knees are placed in the middle of our legs, and beneath the knees we have the ankles, the feet and the toes, and above the knees we have the hips and the pelvic basin. So maybe we have knee discomfort, and the discomfort is actually coming from the knees because perhaps we have arthritis or something like that, and the arthritis can cause us to walk a little bit funny. So we might find that our hips, ankles and feet are a little bit misaligned, or maybe we find we don't have anything wrong with the knees, but we've had an injury in the lower back, in the hip, or in my case in September I've broken my little toe, and it was causing me to walk funny, or any of those injuries can cause you to walk funny, and therefore you end up developing a knee problem, knee discomfort, knee pain. So we're going to be looking at movements that affect the whole of the legs, from the toes all the way up into the hips, into the pelvic basin. So what I want us to do is I'd like us to begin by standing up, please. So if you join me, and just stand how you would regularly, not like you would in a yoga class. How would you stand if you were waiting in a queue in the supermarket or for the bus, and then just once you're standing, just close the eyes and just see where across the soles of your feet your weight is distributed. Do you find your weight is towards the ball of the feet, on the left ball more, on the right ball more, towards the heels? Maybe you're taking the weight through one leg more than the other, on one side of the foot more than the other side. So just pause for a moment and feel into your legs, how the weight is distributed through the feet and how that weight flows up through the legs into the hip area. And then just walk around your space. So just have a little bit of a walk and then just notice how you're walking. Does it feel fluid, or maybe because it's early in the morning there's a little bit of stiffness there? So just have a little walk and then just notice how the weight is being distributed across your feet. How do your ankles feel, your knees feel? How do your hips feel generally? Wonderful. Once you've completed, if you come to sit back on your chair, you're probably wondering why I have a silver basin here with me. So this silver basin represents my pelvic basin. So if you have a lateral view of me, so if you imagine that the pelvic basin and the silver basin and my pelvic basin are filled with water, and I just want to demonstrate a backward tilt of the pelvic basin. So I'm just going to bend the knees a little bit, and then as I tilt my pelvic basin backwards, the silver basin tilts backwards as well. That means the water flows out from the back. So that's a backward tilt of the pelvic basin. And now we're going to do a forward tilt, so we come back to neutral, and then we tip the basin forward, both the silver basin and the pelvic basin. So the water spills out from the front, so that's a forward tilt. So backward tilt, water spills out from the back, and a forward tilt, water spills out from the front, and then we bring the pelvic basin back to neutral. I'll do that one more time. Back tilt, neutral, forward tilt, neutral, back tilt, neutral, forward tilt, neutral. And we're going to explore those movements seated, but I just wanted to show you a side view. So in our seated position, if we can, if it feels comfortable for us, we come to perch on the edge of the chair, like so. So I've left quite a bit of a gap behind me. And you want to check that your ankles are directly beneath your knees. So you've got a 90-degree angle beneath the knees, the knee creases. If this causes you discomfort, because we're going to be sat in this position for quite a while, and you have a chair that has a back on it, you can, in a moment, the first few exercises you need to be perched at the front, but in a moment if you want to sit back and use the support of the back of the chair, you can do so. So remembering the next thing before we do that, so the next thing I'd want us to do is to get acquainted with our sit bones. So if you place your hands beneath your buttocks, palms down, and then just feel, you might want to move left to right, right to left, forward and back. Just see if you can feel your sit bones pressing into your chair. See if you can get acquainted with those sit bones. So if you can feel on the tops of your hands, through your buttocks, through the buttock cheeks, some bones, then those are your sit bones. So in a moment we're going to be moving the pelvic basin and moving the sit bones. So you just want to see if you can become aware of them. Okay, so once you're aware of them, if you remove your hands from underneath, and then when I showed you the side view, just check that you're perched on the edge of the chair, and then your ankles are beneath your knees and your knees are above your ankles. The knees are aligned with the hips, so you want to make sure that the knees are not splaying outward, so that you're creating a V shape, and they're not going inward. You just want to check that the knees are parallel and directly above your ankles. Then we lengthen through the spine and we relax through the shoulders. Everything is nice and soft, the jaw, the tongue, the facial features. Hands are upon the thighs or the knees. And now we're just going to begin by rocking that pelvic basin forward and back. So we begin with the pelvic basin in neutral, and then we're going to rock it back. And we come back to neutral. Exhaling, tilt the pelvic basin back. And when you tilt the pelvic basin back, you might want to drop the head as well. And then on the inhale, come back to neutral. Exhaling, tilting the pelvic basin, dropping the head. Inhale, come back to neutral. And then exhale, repeating once again. So just doing that a few times. So these movements might help the pelvic basin and the ball and hip socket, so the hip joints, to, if there's a slight misalignment in that area, to realign. As they realign, that affects the femur bone, which goes into the knee joints. And if this tiny little alignment or misalignment might be causing any discomfort that you're experiencing in the knees. Okay, so let's bring the backward tilt into a close, come back to neutral. And now let's forward tilt. So as we forward tilt, the tailbone lifts and the pelvic basin has tipped forward. And then we come back to neutral. Inhaling and exhaling, neutral. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So do that a few more times. And you might find that as the pelvic basin tilts forward, that the chest lifts a little bit, and that you find that your chin goes up ever so slightly. And then we come back to neutral. Repeat again. Tilting the pelvic basin forward, and then back to neutral. Inhale and exhale. Nice, one more time. And then bring the practice to a close. Continue to be perched on the edge of your chair. Become aware of the right side of your body, and then just rock. So you're lifting the left buttock cheek up a little, and you're taking the weight through your right sit bone. And then just notice how the right side of your body has lengthened and the head is going to the left, whilst the left side of your body has shortened. Nice, and now swap sides. Go to the left, take the weight through the left side, the right buttock lifts a little bit. The left side, the head has tilted to the right a little bit. You find the left side is elongating, whilst the right side is shortening. Come back to center, and then repeat the other way. Come back to center, and repeat the other way. Center, and repeat. Center. And you're just shifting the weight from one sit bone to the other sit bone. And hopefully, if you're taking the weight through the right sit bone, you can feel that right sit bone pressing into your chair. And then come into the left. You can feel that left sit bone pressing into the chair. And then come back to center. So what we're going to do now is we're going to link all those movements together. So the hands are lightly resting upon the knees. We tilt the pelvic basin backwards and we drop the chin. And then we go to the right sit bone. And then we come forward, tilting the pelvic basin forward, opening up through the front of the body, the throat, not taking the head way back. And then we take the weight to the left sit bone. And then we go back, dropping the head, and then we go to the right sit bone. Right side is opening, left side is shortening. And we come forward, tilting the pelvic basin forward, left sit bone, left side is lengthening, right side is shortening. And then we go back, and we'll do that a few times. On the inhale, we can come forward. We're moving really slowly. And then on the exhale, we can round back. Breathing in, coming forward, And breathing out, rounding back. Coming back to neutral now. We're ready to go in the opposite direction. So on the exhale, hug the belly in, drop the head, rock the pelvic basin back. Take the weight onto the left sit bone. Left side lengthens, right side shortens. Inhale, come forward, pelvic basin has tilted forward. And then we go into the right sit bone, exhaling, backward tilt, dropping the head. Inhaling to the left, come forward, and then exhaling to the right and back. Nice, continuing. Complete one more circle. And then come back to a neutral seat. Lovely. So we're moving on now. We're still remaining seated, but if you feel that you won't be able to sit in this position for a long time, and you feel if you have a chair that has a back and you want to use the back, do so, but you need to make sure that your feet are flat to the floor. Become aware of your right leg. And then just begin to roll to the outside of the right leg. So you're rolling to the outside of the right foot, and then you're rolling to the inside of that right foot. So you're rolling onto the outside where your little toe is, and then you're rolling onto the inside where your big toe is. Rolling to the outside, we're just breathing normally, and then rolling to the inside. When we make this movement, rolling out and rolling in, be aware of how the movement is actually coming from your hip joint. So the femur is creating this movement. The hip joint is rolling the leg in and rolling the leg out. Nice? Okay, bring it to a close. Let's do the same on the left side. So we're becoming aware of the little toe on the left leg. We roll out. And then we roll it in to the big toe. Roll the leg out and roll the leg in. Does one side feel easier than the other? Does one side feel a little bit stiffer than the other? Or do you not know? So just keep that going. That's fantastic. Trying to keep the jaw, the chest, the shoulders, everything nice and relaxed. Bring that rolling to a close now. We're going to do the same again, but rather than the movement coming from the hip joints, we want the movement to come from the ankles. So that means that the knees need to be reasonably still and quiet. So you're taking your awareness to the right foot, and you're rolling to the outside of the right foot, and then rolling to the inside of that right foot. Outside and inside. Continuing this way, there will be some movement through the knee, but not as much as when we did the first exercise. This rolling outside and inside is a really important movement for the ankle joint. See if you can feel that movement in the ankle joint. It should feel quite different to what we did previously. And how does the right ankle feel when you do this? Then bring the practice to a close. Taking your awareness now to your left foot, trying to keep the knee and the left femur reasonably quiet and still. Roll to the outside of the left foot and then roll to the inside of the left foot. So for me, this side feels easier than the other side. How does it feel for you? rolling out. We're just breathing normally, keeping everything nice and relaxed. And then bring the practice to a close. Become aware of both feet, and now we're rolling both feet to the outside and inside, and then to the outside and inside. So see if you can do that with both feet. And again, we're keeping the knees reasonably quiet and still. How does it feel when you do it with both feet? Fantastic. And now bring the practice to a close. Slide that right leg a little bit forward. You're still keeping a bend in the right knee, so the right leg is not completely straight. And you're just going to raise the right foot up off the floor so that you're bending from the ankle. And then place the right foot back down. Raise that right foot up, keeping the heel on the floor. Then place the foot back down. Raise the right foot up. And place the foot back down. Slide that leg in. Slide the left leg forward and repeat. Raise the left foot up and place it back down. Raise the left foot up and place it back down. Raise the left foot up and place it back down. Fantastic. Slide that left leg in. Slide the right leg, and this time just lift the toes. So raise the toes of the right foot up and then place them down. Raise the toes of the right foot up and place them down. One more time, raise the toes up and place them down. Still working on the right foot, raise the toes up, raise the ball up. Now keep the toes up and place the ball down, then place the toes down. Raise the toes up, raise the ball up, place the ball down, keeping the toes up, and then place the toes down. One more time, lift the toes and the ball, and then place the ball down and place the toes down. Brilliant work. Slide that right leg in. Slide the left leg forward. Begin with the toes. Lift the toes. Place the toes down. Lift the toes. Place the toes down. Lift the toes and place the toes down. Now lift the toes and raise the ball of the foot. Now place the ball down, keeping the toes up, and then place the toes down. Toes up, lift foot, ball down, toes down. One more time. Lift toes, balls up, place the ball down, and place the toes down. Slide that foot back in. Slide the right leg forward and become aware of your right big toe. And imagine your right big toe is like a paintbrush. Lift the foot up, be aware of the paintbrush on your right big toe, and begin to trace circles with that paintbrush. Notice how that feels. And you're trying to make those circles as generous and as big as you can, so that you may be able to feel the movement right up here in the right hip joint. So you can feel the whole of that movement through, even though the toe is initiating the movement, you can feel the movement right up into the hip joint. Now paint those circles in the opposite direction. That's it. So you can feel the movement right up here in the hip joint. Big, generous circles. Bring those circling to a close. Relax the right foot. Keep the right leg forward. Now become aware of your little toe on your right foot. Now your little toe has the paintbrush. So raise the foot up, keep the heel on the floor, and be aware of the paintbrush on your little toe, and see if you can initiate the circles with the little toe leading. And the movement feels quite different, hopefully. But you can still feel, even though the little toe is initiating the movement, you should be able to feel it right up into your right hip. And now going the opposite direction. Beautiful work. Bring the movements to a close and draw that right leg in, and now slide the left leg forward. Be aware of the paintbrush on the left big toe to begin with, the left big toe. Keep the heel on the floor, raise the foot up, and begin to trace, paint those circles. Notice how it feels on this side. Does the left knee and hip feel differently to your right side? Don't forget the ankle, knee and hip. Beautiful work. And now trace those circles in the opposite direction, with the big toe initiating the circles. Bring the movement to a close. Place the left foot flat to the floor and become aware of the little toe on the left foot. The little toe on the left foot. The paintbrush is on that little toe, and now begin to create those circles with the little toe, the little paintbrush, initiating the movements. And again, it should feel different, but you should be able to feel the movement right up here into your left hip, hopefully. And now circle in the opposite direction. Beautiful work. Bring the practice to a close. Place the feet flat to the floor and become aware of your toes. And you want to claw your toes into the floor. So you're scrunching them or curling them in. Claw them in and then release. Claw them in, scrunch them up, curl them in, and release. So claw them in, scrunch them up, curl them in, and release. 2 more times. And release. And the final time. And release. Now do the right leg. Just claw the right leg. Release. Left leg. Claw, release. Right leg. Left leg. Right leg, left leg, release. Both legs, claw both in and release. 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 Well done. Now lift both sets of toes up, so both toes, and see, so you've lifted them up, and you want to create as much space as you can between the toes. And then become aware of your little toes. Place the little toes down first, then work up until your thumb your big toe comes down last. Then lift them up again, spread them as wide as you can, open your toes as wide as you can, as wide as you can. Become aware of your little toes. Place the little toes down, the next toe, the next toe, the next toe, until the big toe comes down last. Repeat again. Lifting the toes and work from the small toes up to the big toes. Lift the toes again, working from the small to the big. Fantastic. And relax. Now push your big toes into the floor and raise the remaining 4 toes up off the floor. So the big toes have pushed down, and the 4 other toes, so the big toe is down and the 4 toes are up. Now place the 4 toes down and push the big toes up. Place the big toes down, lift the other 4 toes up. Place the 4 toes down and lift the big toes up. Can they see that, Ben? Place the big toes down and lift the 4 toes up. Place the 4 toes down and lift the big toes up. One more time. And now the 4 toes and the big toes. And now relax the toes. Taking your awareness to your right leg, the right heel is pinned into the floor. So you raise the right foot up and you're taking the right foot to the right. Now when you do this movement, you don't want the knee, you're not using the knee. So I can use the knee to turn it like so, or I can keep the knee facing forward and I can initiate the movement from the ankle. So can we do that together? So can we raise the right foot up, keep the right knee reasonably quiet, and externally rotate the foot. Take the right foot to the outside, allowing the movement to come from the ankle. Repeat again. And down and then back to center. Raise the right foot up and then turn to the right. And then come back to center. Okay, continue to keep the right knee reasonably quiet. Raise the right foot up and take the right foot inward. So an internal rotation. Then raise the foot up and then place it back to neutral. Raise the right foot up, internal rotation, and down. And then raise the right foot up and come back to neutral. One more time, internal rotation, and then back to neutral. Still awareness on the right foot, raise the right foot up, external rotation, and then through to internal rotation. External rotation, through to internal rotation. As you move the ankle, can you feel the bones in your lower leg, your tibia and fibula, also move in? And as you make those movements, the tibia and the fibula meet in the knee. So you may be able to feel those bones affecting the knee. Nice. Internal, external rotation, then internal, and then back to neutral. Left leg, the left heel is pinned to the floor. The left knee is staying reasonably quiet. Raise the left foot up, external rotation. Then come back to neutral. Raise the left foot up, external rotation, come back to neutral. So again, this side, this ankle feels less stiff. So I feel as if I have more movement in this left leg, which is my right leg, your left leg. So is that the same for you or is it different? And the knees staying reasonably quiet. You're trying to make the movement from the left ankle. Come back to neutral. Let's do internal rotation. Taking the foot internally now. That's it. Beautiful work. Internal rotation, back to neutral. Internal rotation and back to neutral. Let's combine those movements. So external rotation through to internal rotation. External through to internal, external through to internal, external through to internal, back to neutral. Now we're going to do that movement. So if you imagine your feet are like windscreen wipers, we're going to do it with both feet. So raise both feet up and windscreen wipe the feet. So you're exploring internal and external rotation on both feet. Nice. So the movement is coming from the ankles, but you might feel when you do both feet that you begin to feel the movement coming up through the legs a little bit more. That's absolutely fine. Nice. And let's bring the feet back to a neutral position. So becoming aware of your right heel now. Raise the right heel up off the floor. The ball of the right foot is in the floor. When you raise the heel up, it activates the calf muscle. Then drop the right heel down. Raise up, drop down, raise up, drop down, raise up, drop down, raise up, drop down. Nice. Left side, raise the left heel up and drop. Left heel up and drop. Left heel up and drop. Left heel up and drop, left heel up and drop. So right side, we're going to do that again, but we're going to do 2 drops. So up, tap, tap, up, tap, tap, up, tap, tap. Left side, up, tap, tap, up, tap, tap, up, tap, tap. Right side, but 3 drops this time. So right side, tap, 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 and again, tap, 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 and again, tap, tap, tap. Left side, up, tap, 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 up, tap, 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 up, tap, tap, tap. Fantastic. Both feet, we begin with 1 drop. So raise up, 1 drop. Up, tap, up, tap, up, tap, up, tap, up, tap. Nice. Close. 2 taps now. Up, tap, tap, up, tap, tap, up, tap, tap. 3 taps. Heels up, tap, tap, tap. Heels up, tap, tap, tap. Heels up, tap, tap, tap. Nice. And bring the practice to a close. You become aware of your right leg, the big toe and the second toe, and between the toes you have a peg that you're able to pivot round. So when you're ready to, come onto the ball of the right foot and you're taking the heel to the right. And the movement will be through the whole of the leg. So it'll be from the right heel all the way up into the right hip. Then come back to neutral. Then repeat. External rotation of the right heel and then come back to neutral. And then externally rotate the right heel and then come back to neutral. Now we're going to do an internal rotation. So internally rotate and then come back to neutral. Internally rotate the heel, come back to neutral. Internally rotate the heel, come back to neutral. Fantastic. Let's link those 2 movements together. So you come up, external rotation to internal rotation, external rotation to internal rotation, externally to internally, and then back to neutral. Same on the left side. So you've got that peg between the left big toe and the second toe. Come up and external rotation. Again, notice, does this side feel different compared to your right side? Back to neutral. External to neutral, external to neutral. Now we're going to go internal. So taking the left heel internally, back to neutral, internally, back to neutral, internally, back to neutral. Let's link those movements together. External rotation through to internal rotation. Remembering it's the heel. Nice. And then one more time. Nice. And back to neutral. Now we'll do it with both feet. So come onto the balls of the feet and let's take the heels in one direction and then the opposite way. And you're almost like you're skiing down a slope. Do you feel that? Nice. You can feel that movement all the way up into your hips, hopefully. And let's come to neutral now. Fantastic. So you want to imagine that on your feet you have the tattoo of a V sign. So in the apex of the V starts at your heel, and then the sides of the V travels, one side travels into your big toes and the other side travels into your little toes. And you want to try and bring the 2 sides of the V together. So see if you can scrunch up the 2 sides of the V together. So scrunch up. Nice. So you're scrunching up the feet and then release. And then draw the 2 sides of the V together, scrunching up. It's a little bit tricky, I know. And then release. And then one more time, scrunch up. And then release. Fantastic. Become aware of your right foot. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Place the heel down. Come onto the heel of the left foot. Place the foot down. Come onto the ball of the left foot. Place the heel down. Come onto the heel of the left foot. Place the heel down. Can you do that at the same time? So it's like you're walking. It's hard. Try not to think about it. Oh, yeah, I thought about it. Yeah? Nice. I find swinging my arms for some reason, and especially if I'm not talking at the same time, helps. Yeah. And then bring the practice to a close. So, straighten the right leg, push the right heel away, raise the right leg up, point the toes away, push the right foot down, draw the foot back in. And again, slide the right foot forward, push the heel forward, raise the right leg up, point the toes, take the foot to the floor and draw the leg in. Once again, push the heel forward, push the right foot forward, so you're sliding it forward, push the heel forward, raise the right leg up, point the toes forward, place the foot down and draw that right leg in. Left side, slide the left leg forward, push the heel away, raise the left leg up, point the toes forward, place the left foot down and slide the left leg in. Push the left leg or slide the left leg forward, push the heel away, raise the leg up, point the toes forward, place the foot down, slide the left leg in. One more time, slide the left leg forward, push the heel away, raise the left leg up, point the toes, place the left foot down and slide the leg back in. If you've not remembered a towel, so hopefully you've got a towel that you can fold up and you can glue your feet and your knees together. If you've not remembered your towel, you can place your hands between your knees and you want to try and keep the knees pressed against your hands, or if you've got your towel, against your towel. Keep the heels together. Just check that you're all nice and relaxed. Keep your heels together and allow the toes to open so that you've created your penguin feet or 10 to 2. Then bring the feet together, keep the toes together and allow your heels to go out. So you've created pigeon feet. Then bring the heels together and go toes, together, heels, together, toes apart, together, heels, together, toes, heels, together. Very good. Nice and relax. Now become aware of the right foot, the right ball of the foot. Keep the heels together and allow the right foot to go to the right and then back. Right foot to the right and back. Right foot to the right and back. Don't drop the towel. Now become aware of the right heel and now take the right heel out. Keep the toes together. Right and together. Right heel out, toes together. Right heel out and then back in. Now become aware of the left foot and take the toes of the left foot out. Keep the heels together. Left foot back in. Left foot out, feet together. Last one, left foot out, feet together. Now become aware of the left heel. Take the left heel out and then together. Left heel out and together. Left heel out and together. Well done. Now become aware of the right foot. We're going to create a little circle. So the right foot together, the right heel together, left heel together, left toes together, right toes together, right heel together, left heel together, left toes together. One more round. Right toes together, right heel together, left heel together, left toes together. Well done. Now we'll reverse the circle. So left toes together, left heel together, right heel together, right toes together, left toes together, left heel together, right heel together, right toes together. Last round. Left toes together, left heel together, right heel together, right toes together. Wonderful work and relax. So we're coming to the end. This is the last movement that we're going to explore. So we remove the towel or our hands and you're keeping the feet glued together and you want to see where you feel this movement through your legs. Keep the heels together, open the toes, so toes, then open the heels and then toes and then heels. Nice. Can you feel how you're working ankles, knees and hip joints? Now we go heels, toes, heels, toes, and hopefully we're back together. Nicely done. Let's do that again. Toes, heels, toes and heels. Well done. Now we go heel, toe, heel, toe, and we're together. Okay, so now let's do it the opposite way. So rather than starting with the toes, we'll start with the heels. Heels, toes, heels, toes, Oh, you can really feel that in the groin area, can't you? And now we reverse. Toes, heels, toes, heels, and hopefully we're back together. One more time. Heels, toes, heels, toes, and heels. And then we come back in. Heel, toe, heel, toe, together. Well done. And relax. So hopefully all those movements help to adjust any small misalignments, and with time as you practice, maybe, just maybe, those movements will help to ease out any knee discomfort you have. So let's, as we began the class, let's begin. Let's stand up and let's just walk around the space. Do your feet, do your ankles, do your hips feel different to when you started? Does your pelvic basin, and maybe these movements also affect the lower back, so does your pelvic basin and lower back feel any different? Bring the walk into a close and then just come to stand. And then just notice how you inhabit your body. So guide your awareness into your feet. And notice how you are inhabiting your body. Nice. And do you feel that the weight has shifted through the soles of your feet? So I feel a noticeable difference. Can you feel any difference? Do you feel as if you're more balanced? So when I first did this, I was definitely inhabiting the left side of my body more. More weight was through the left, whereas now I feel as if the weight is more evenly distributed. But you may be having a completely different experience to me, and you may not be able to tell the difference. That's okay, just continue to practice. So this was meant to be a 45-minute class, but as it's a knee class, I thought I'd add like an extra 10 minutes on, just so you can have like the complete knee program and we don't have to record it again at a later date. So if you're watching and you need to head off to work, if you're watching the live stream, please head off to work and come back to it. But if you can stay, then just stay with me. So for this next bit, you need a wall, or if you don't have a wall and you have a chair that has a back to it, you can use the chair. So if you're against the wall, so I'll demonstrate against the wall first. So you come to the wall and you're standing comfortably, and it doesn't matter if your feet are slightly 10 to 2, that's okay. And all that you're going to do is you're going to come up onto the balls of the feet, and then you place the heels down and we bend the knees a little. So we're sliding up. And do you see how I am sliding up? Because I don't want to ruin my parents' curtains. There's no weight taken through my hands, sliding up and then coming down. And as I slide up, my head goes up just a little. I look, and my gaze is going back, and then I come back down. So these exercises, can you feel how they're working the toes, the ankles, the knees and the hips? They're really good for working all of those joints, but also beginning to build strength around the knees. Okay, so we've done it against the wall. Let me show you if you're using your chair. So your hands just slightly against the chair, coming up, a little look up, and then come down. Then we go up, and again my hands are just lightly, and then we come down, bending the knees just a little. And notice how my feet are staying on the floor, so I'm not lifting my toes when I come down. Nice. I can really feel this working into my knees. And if you find that your knees are poorly, if you're in pain, you probably find that you can only do a few of these. And once you've done a few, bring it to a close. There's no strain, it's all nice and soft. And then what we can do is, if I go back to the wall, is you can bend the left knee and come up, and your bend is you keep the left knee bent more. So you're coming up and you're working the right side, the right knee more. And down, keeping the left knee bent, come up and down, up and down. Then come back to neutral. So that was with the left knee bent. Now we're going to bend the right knee and we're coming up, and then we keep the right knee bent as we come down, come up and down. So the weight is more through the left leg, up and down, up and down. Nice. So you continue in this way. And then come to close, and you might find I can really feel that work in my knees already. And then you can just end by doing both legs again. So coming up onto the balls, looking up a little, place the heels down and sink down. Up and down. Nice. Great stuff. And then bring the practice to a close. Come into sit on your chair once again. Or actually, let's go back. So having done those against the wall, just walk around the space once again. Walk around your space. Notice if anything feels different in your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips. And then come to stand once again. How are you inhabiting your body this time? Notice. So I feel a real firm connection. My legs feel heavier and I feel deeply rooted into the earth, more so than I did before. Maybe you don't know again. That's okay. You're still working yourself appropriately. It's just a matter of continuing to practice so that you can increase that sensitivity, your body awareness sensitivity. Beautiful work. So thank you for allowing me to explore that last little segment with you. If you do bring yourself to your seated position now, place the hands upon your knees or your thighs, lengthen through your spine. Close your eyes, take your awareness to the breath. And just begin to have deep gratitude for everything that your body can do and everything your body can't do. Being grateful that you can inhabit your body and that you can move around in this world. Really loving your body for all its perfection and imperfections. And to honor the perfections and imperfections, the idiosyncrasies that we all naturally have, our uniqueness. We'll chant the mantra Om 3 times, breathing in deeply now. Bringing the palms together, warming the palms, placing the warm palms over the closed eyes, open the eyes behind the palms, pause here for a moment, and then gently bringing our awareness back into the space. Namaste. Thanking you for joining us, wishing you a beautiful week and a good month. We look forward to sharing with you very soon. Take care everyone, lots of love, bye for now.